Hello everyone, and for this video there would be a lack of pictures that will be shown on the video. Due to the nature of this particular engagement that I will be covering over isn't exactly well known, and so there will be a few pictures being repeated throughout the video. But with that out of the way, on with the video. World War II would be the war that would see large-scale battles being fought on both sides, with many of these battles would see the deployment of tens of thousands of men and even into the hundreds of thousands of men engaging in massive campaigns. Some of the more famous battles and military actions on the naval side would be the Battle of Midway, the Battle of North Cape, the Guadalcanal campaign, and many more. As time passed by in 1945, with the Japanese surrender on August the 10th of the same year, there would be another and final naval engagement of World War II that would take place off the coast of China 11 days after Japan surrendered. Where the vessels featured in this battle wasn't the mighty battleships or the swift cruisers and destroyers, but ships that had been built for hundreds of thousands of years that even predate the Roman Empire. The vessels in question were the Chinese junk ships. These were ships that used sails as their main means of locomotion to sail across bodies of water. Their hulls were often built with softwood, with the more modern versions being made out of teak wood on the outside, with it featuring internal compartments and bulkheads which made the ships at least somewhat resistant to flooding. Often featuring a high poop deck thanks to the horseshoe-shaped stern design. This particular design has largely remained the same for the past 2 millennia, and it's often been remarked by various historians as being one of the most efficient ship designs of humanity. And this ship type was used heavily by the Chinese until these ships would be replaced with more modern designs, using gas or diesel engines to power propellers, though it is still common to see some junk ships in use today. But back on to the story. The story starts with 2 Navy lieutenants, Livington Swentzel Jr. and Stuart Pittman, who were in command of 2 Chinese junk ships, with both of the ships being crewed by a total of 27 crew members, 7 Americans and 20 Chinese soldiers. The junk ship armaments consisted of 2 M1 bazookas, 1 50 caliber heavy machine gun, 1 30 caliber light machine gun, several rifles and grenades. On the 21st of August, during their transit from Hirman to Shanghai, they spotted another junk ship on the horizon. When the unknown junk ship came in a bit closer, the unknown junk ship opened fire on the American and Chinese soldiers. This enemy junk ship was crewed by the Japanese, consisting of 5 officers and 78 enlisted Japanese men. This ship itself was more heavily armed than the American junk ships, with its main armaments consisting of a 75mm gun, speculated to be a Type 1935 towed artillery gun, 6 machine guns of unknown caliber, and a large amount of rifles. The first shot that the Japanese fired with the 75mm gun struck the front mast of Swentzel's junk ship, bringing the mast down. With the surprise attack catching the crew off guard, panic quickly spread, but Swentzel quickly took control of the helm and rallied his men to assume battle stations. Luckily, the American junk ships were equipped with radios, and so both junk ships were able to communicate with each other in order to engage the enemy vessel. As the range between the junk ships decreased, one of the American soldiers that were equipped with the bazookas would end up disabling the 75mm field gun on the Japanese ship. Machine guns would also start opening fire as the range decreased. And 45 minutes after the start of battle, the Americans and Chinese soldiers were starting to run out of ammo, with them exhausting their bazooka ammo and their machine guns near running dry. It was at this point when Swentzel decided to bring his junk ship alongside the Japanese junk ship in order to engage in boarding actions. During this time, while the distance was being closed, grenades would be thrown onto the Japanese ship, taking out the soldiers on the deck. Once Swentzel's junk ship was close enough, boarding actions then commenced, with the Americans and Chinese soldiers readying their rifles, knives, and other tools to engage the Japanese enemy. The deck of the Japanese junk ship was quickly captured, with some of the holdouts occupying the decks down below, with them still offering up resistance. Grenades would be thrown down the various hatches down into the decks below until the last Japanese holdouts surrendered. The engagement would be just shy over 45 minutes long, and out of the 83 Japanese crew, a total of 44 of them was killed, 3 officers and 41 enlisted men, with a further 35 of them being wounded, which was quite impressive as the Americans and Chinese only suffered 4 dead, with 6 others being wounded. The Japanese junk ship was then captured, and it was then decided to return to Hirman to hand over the Japanese POWs over to the Chinese authorities. For this battle, Pittman would be awarded a Silver Star, while Swentzel was then awarded the Navy Cross by President Truman for heroism when he skillfully and relentlessly pressed the attack on a heavily armed Japanese ship, capture it, and inflict great loss on the enemy. Swentzel was also promoted to a lieutenant commander, and he would go on to serve the Navy in the Korean War and the Vietnam War. He would then retire from naval service in 1969 and would continue to live with his wife until passing away in 1987 in San Francisco. He would then be buried at the San Francisco National Cemetery, wrapping up on the story of not only the final naval engagement of World War II, but also the last naval engagement of sailing ships versus sailing ships. A bizarre but fitting end to the Navy's actions in World War II. As always, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more future content. If you have a question, write it down in the comments section down below. Also consider following me on other websites like Rumble and BitChute. Links are down in the description below. I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.